So after seeing the shithole that was Downhill, I went and saw Sonic the Hedgehog, the new Sonic the Hedgehog movie, obviously. Yeah, what crazy production this movie's had, to say the least. I don't think I really have to go through about the production history of this movie. I think it's pretty well fucking documented. I just to give you like my personal thoughts about Sonic. I always was a Nintendo fan. Never really was a Sega fan. So I grew up on like stuff like Mario and Donkey Kong more than Sonic. So like I didn't really have like that much of a dog in this fight as far as these movies go. This movie goes, but it has been hilarious, the fucking production history behind this movie. I mean, this movie it didn't really have really much production issues until that trailer came out. I think, hell, this movie was supposed to come out in November, and that trailer popped up like in the summertime, and every fucking person online hated it. I only watched a few. I didn't get that trailer in the theaters, but the first one, I didn't get that trailer in the theaters, but I saw a few bits of that trailer, especially the part where Sonic is revealed, and I was like, what the fuck? I think the most alarming thing out of that was that they fucking used Gangster's Paradise for the introduction of Sonic in that fucking trailer. It was like, I remember that vividly, but nobody talks about that. They just talk about the design of Sonic. Like, people had no problem with them using Gangster's Paradise in a Sonic the Hedgehog trailer, but whatever. That fucking first design was garbage. I ain't gonna lie, that was very much garbage compared to what we got, as the final design for Sonic. The final design's a fucking vast improvement, especially when you saw the new trailers. You're like, yeah, that is a big, vast improvement. That's what Sonic should look like. I'm not a big Sonic fan, but I can tell you, I know what Sonic looks like. I know what. And that Sonic does not look like what he did in the original. It is funny that like the creators of this movie fixed the design of Sonic, but the creators of the Cats movie said, that's okay. They didn't listen one fucking bit. Although I think that would have been harder to fix because that is a majority of the fucking movie, and that like I don't know how they could fix that other than maybe like just having people in cat suits. But at that point, it was just like they put so much money in that CGI, they had no choice. So yeah, this like when I got the second trailer for this, I thought it looked fine. It didn't look bad. I was like, it definitely really didn't look offensive at all. There's been some really bad kids movie trailers out there, and this wasn't one of them. So I'm like, yeah, this looks all right. And yeah, I liked it. I thought, first off, this movie, its biggest, the best thing for this movie to happen was that I saw Downhill before I saw this, and this movie's a fucking vast improvement over in Downhill. This is a way better fucking movie. I'm not saying this movie's great. This movie has a lot of fucking problems, and a lot of problems I have with a lot of modern day kids movies I have with this movie, but I didn't hate it. It was fine. It was a fun little film. The kids that I was in the theater with thought were having a very good time. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I laughed more at this than I did fucking Downhill, I'll say that. I, like a lot of people, love Jim Carrey in this movie. He fucking stole this movie. God damn, man. Jim Carrey, it's so nice to see him like in a big budgeted movie again. I love Jim Carrey, and like a lot of people, I've heard a lot of people talk about, I had a friend on Facebook talk about, man, Jim Carrey's looks bad nowadays. I worry about Jim Carrey. I'm not the only one who does. And like seeing him in a big budgeted blockbuster movie like this, like, makes me happy because maybe it'll help him put his career back in the right direction. I love that show, Kidding. I love that show's a really good show, and I don't know how many people have seen it, but it's a really fucking good. Honestly, one of his best performances of his fucking career is on that show. But this is like him going back to him being Jim Carrey from the 90s almost. Like, it's kind of fun to watch. Like, there's a lot more better comedic Jim Carrey performances, like, from the 90s that I've seen than this, but this is kind of, like, reminiscent. Like, one of my favorite scenes of this whole movie is that part towards the end where he's fucking dancing it has, like, in a virtual reality like game, and he's dancing and he gets his head bitten off by a T-Rex. I'm not making that shit up. That happens, and he's just dancing and like having a good old time. I'm like, I love this. Jim Carrey's awesome. Like, he is having a blast. When Jim Carrey's having a blast, you're having a blast. I love Jim Carrey, man. I know a lot of people. There's some people that don't like Jim Carrey. I understand. His comedy style is not for everybody. Like I said, you know what you're getting with Jim Carrey if you seeing him, you know, like his comedic roles before, you know what you're getting with him in this movie, and it's no shock. But like I guess James Marsden, it seems like he's being stuck in these kinds of movies where he's like stuck the main character, or his sidekicks is like wasn't he in that movie Hop? A lot of people have been comparing this movie to Hop, and I can see a comparison. I've seen bits of Hop, but wasn't he the main character? I was trying to remember off the top of my head. Is like, he was the main character, right, in fucking Hop. As in here, he's the main character in a Sonic the Hedgehog movie where he's trying to help Sonic the Hedgehog, and I'm like, yeah, Sonic. He can be funny. Like, he is your stereotypical main character in a kid's movie where he just wants to be wanted and to fit in with everybody, and he is the outcast, and in this world he's stuck on. Okay, this was weird. That the opening to this movie was fucking weird because, like, it does one of those things where it's showing the action set piece towards the end where he's being chased by Jim Carrey throughout the streets of San Francisco, where they cause like a fucking shitload of destruction. That was fucking funny. Like, I was like, they caused more destruction almost than Man of Steel. In this fucking movie, I swear a lot of people die in this movie, like in the final battle of this movie. But he's being chased with Jim Carrey. He's like, well, I'm sure you're wondering, what is this blue hedgehog doing being chased by that weird mustache dude? Well, here, I might be going a little too fast. Let me flash back. So he goes like 5 years earlier, or something like that. That fucking annoying cliche that they do in a lot of movies nowadays. And so you're introduced to him when he was like a baby, and like, I love the world it sets, like the like, and that looks like, you know, the video game world that we all know from Sonic the Hedgehog. Like, they even make a little in jokes about the loop-de-loop. That was pretty funny. I like that line about the loop-de-loop. That made me laugh at the beginning. But then, like, they show he's being mentored by an owl. Okay, I don't know much about the video games, so somebody in the comments could tell me if that was a character. And like, she's like, she's like Obi-Wan Kenobi, but if Obi-Wan Kenobi had a beak and feathers, I'm like, okay, that's a joke that this happened. And he then, like, as soon as you're introduced to that character, she dies. like. So what the fuck was that point of that character? Like, that was, like, random. And, like, he ends up going into a portal where he lands in Earth, and that's where the movie's... And then when you meet him again, he's kind of a grown-up version of Sonic, the version that you see in the trailers. And, yeah, I was like, that was fucking weird. I was like, that was just a random start to the movie. This movie it's not very well written. This movie is not at all very well written. The jokes are going to be very dated very fucking quickly. Within a fucking year, it's probably be very dated. It's, again, a lot of the dialogue is just making referential humor to, like, what's going on in pop culture nowadays and what's with the kids. Yeah, it isn't very well written. The dialogue is pretty terrible. stays away from doing poop and fart jokes for the most part. There's a part where Sonic just farts for some reason. I don't fucking know, just because he had to have a fart joke in there, I guess. What the fuck else though? There is like a couple plot holes in this movie that made me go, huh? Like, there are points in this movie like, okay, this movie rips off other movies sometimes. Like, it's particularly the recent X-Men movies where they had Quicksilver. Like, there's scenes where Sonic has Quicksilver moments in this movie where he just slows down time and he's like fixing things like by slowing down time and going really fast, and like he's doing like what Quicksilver did in the recent X-Men movies. And I'm sitting there like you do with a lot of times with Quicksilver in those movies, you go, why don't they use him more in those movies? And in this movie, the difference is Sonic is a fucking main character. There are multiple times where you're sitting there going, why don't he just do that? And that could solve a lot of fucking problems very fucking quickly. If he has the ability to do that, he should be able to. This movie should have been over very fucking quickly. Let's just say that. Like, he only uses that like very conveniently, like at the bar and at the very end where I'm not making this shit up. This is a funny fucking scene. He throws James Marsden and his girlfriend or his wife off a building. I'm not making that up. That happens. He pushes them off a building. I was like, whoa, this movie got dark all of a sudden. Like, they almost hit the fucking ground. I was like, this is getting dark all of a sudden. That was fucking great. But he uses that ability to save them, which is like, again, why the fuck he doesn't use it more than he does in this movie. And then also that scene where right before he throws them off the building, he is like, they have to get to the top of that building, on the roof of the building, right? And he has to get on the roof of this building to get like these rings or whatever. This is getting the spoilers somewhat. And it's like, well, I'm gonna go try to do it right now. And I'm like, okay, this should be easy. He just, run up the fucking building. He could just run up the building and just fucking get it. I mean, he is super fast, probably run up that fucking building, but apparently not, because he just tries to go through the front door. Even though he's super fast and probably can get through doors really fucking easily and just go right up the building, he just decides to go right for the front door. Okay, just so there could be wacky hijinks where he's hidden in a duffel bag and it sounds like there's a kid in there, and the people that, so James Marsden has him in a duffel bag, and he's talking to James Marsden, and the guy next to James Marsden's like, do you have a little kid in your duffel bag? He's like, yeah, but it's not mine. I was like, okay, the cops would have been called earlier than that. I was like, yeah, the cops would have seriously been called on your ass. That was funny. Yeah. Also, I want to know how much money Olive Garden gave this movie to fucking get the product placement they do in this movie. There are lines of dialogue in this movie, and there's like even like a fucking thing at the end where the payoff is a gift card to Olive Garden, or there's references to Olive Garden more than a couple times in this fucking movie, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, it's just out of place and has no reason to be in there other than be product placement. And it's like, that is probably the worst example of product placement I have ever seen since like Power Rangers, the recent Power Rangers, where the plot of that movie revolved around a Krispy Kreme store. That is still probably worse than this, but because that whole movie revolved around that. But this was just randomly placed in at parts you're like, what the fuck was the point? Like, damn, man, like Olive Garden, man, like, it's not that good. Like, man, but they had to pay a good chunk of money to probably get that fucking product placement put in that film. God damn, man. I did like this movie. It was cute. It was fine. I did like the little mid-credit scene and the scene right before the credits started. That was kind of a nice nod to fans of the video game. I knew to stay at during the mid credits because I was told there was gonna be something really cool at the end in the mid credits, and that it was exactly what I expected it was gonna be. That was kind of a nice touch. I did mark out a little bit for it. I was like, oh, that's cute. I was like, that's cool. A lot of people were leaving when that was going on. I'm like, dude, you guys are idiots. Like, especially a lot of these people were kids, like, who probably would mark out for that, but they missed it, dumbasses. But yeah, I recommend the movie. Go check it out. I liked Sonic the Hedgehog. I thought it was fun. I didn't go with high hopes, but it was pretty much exactly what I expected. But that's not saying like it's a bad movie at all. I recommend it. Trailers. Holy shit. Peter Rabbit 2, The Runaway. This is a new trailer for it, where Peter Rabbit is feeling like he's not wanted anymore, so he runs away with all the other rabbits. Didn't the first trailer have like another rabbit who's like just like Peter Rabbit that he meets or something like that? But that character is not in this trailer whatsoever. And it's some funny fucking moments in this movie. I like Domhnall Gleeson, who, again, like, that movie was a fucking surprise a couple of years ago. I did not expect that movie to be as funny as it was, and that movie actually really surprised the hell out of me. That Peter Rabbit movie. Domhnall Gleeson was amazing in that movie as this Mr. McGregor, and he looks like he's just hasn't missed a fucking beat. I love this guy as an actor, man. He does not get enough love that he deserves. God damn, I love him as an actor. He looks like he's gonna be fun in this too. There's a couple of funny moments in that trailer that really made me laugh. But I'm looking forward to it. I love the first one. I thought it was a lot of fun. Minions: The Rise of Gru. Look, I liked the first Despicable Me. I liked the second Despicable Me. I even gave a pretty decent review to Minions. I am fucking tired of Minions by now. I'm not the only one. Why is this still a fucking thing? Go the fuck away. Please. But this movie's gonna make a bunch of shitload of money, and you know it will. And because of that, this movie we're gonna get more Minions. And I swear to God, like, if that's the voice that Steve Carell's going for this whole movie, and then I have to hear that and the Minion voices, I might have to kill myself. I'm not making that up. Like, that voice is fucking annoying. And if that's the whole fucking movie, it comes out in summer. I could just not go see it, but man, I'm seeing everything now. Fuck, I don't get paid to do this. I really need to. I really don't want to see covered for Minions. I'm so tired of the Minions. I'm tired of that and Frozen. I'm so done. And the last trailer, Rumble. This is a movie about a monster wrestling league, and a girl is trying to train a fellow monster to fight another monster. I think it's voiced by Samuel L. Jackson. The guy who's being trained, the monster is being trained is who was it? Will Arnett, who, God bless him, apparently he just will take any fucking movie. I love Will Arnett. Yeah, it didn't look very good. Yeah, that's his trailer as far as trailers go. I still gotta go see, what the hell did I see? The Photograph, Fantasy Island, which I hear amazing things about. And my theater did finally get Parasite after it won Best Picture, but I will see it, and I'm probably going to give you my thoughts on it, quick thoughts on that, if it's as good as, you know, the Oscars say it is. And like I said, I haven't seen it yet. I don't know why my theater decides to wait until it wins Best Picture to finally put it in theaters, but whatever. Yeah, so that's as far as what's come up later this week. And go see Sonic the Hedgehog, fuck downhill. Until then, I'll see you guys.